Dandavad dear devotees, and I see Gangalila is engaged in Harinam Sankirtan with clapping hands on the screen. And we still, oh, well, this is the first time I've spoken today, and I find I have a little bit of a hoarse throat, Hoarse, throat. And still some Harinam Sankirtan, because we were doing Harinam Sankirtan yesterday. We tried to go to another place, Varenna, maybe Sevarupa knows it, Induleka knows it, I don't know, Varenna, up the lake, it's a beautiful place, we've been there before, but it's a very rich tourist area. Many people go there, especially now. But man proposes, God disposes. And we tried to go there. It's by the lake, and it's got the mountains coming straight from the lake up to the mountains. And then we tried to go the regular way, and completely blocked. Everything is blocked, the road and the railway, because of a big landslide in the rains recently. So we went to go around the other way, so up the mountain, down the other side, and come back. But there, unfortunately, there'd been a road accident, so it was completely blocked there. So the town was blocked off. So we came back to our regular place of Lecco, and we were in Lecco happily doing Harinam Sankirtan there. And so now we're a little bit hoarse. And we kept on doing Sankirtan, by the way, coming back in the car with the windows open. And with the windows open and beating on the side of the car as we came back, all the way to the temple. So we were Harinam Sankirtan devotees, and remembering India, remembering our different parikramas, that we can't move anywhere without the sound of Sankirtan. So this was the principle, not the sound of a car, but the sound of Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. All right, dear devotees, we are coming together, and I see Mayeshwari Devi Rasi is with us this week, and as she often is, and Dana, Induleka, Kamala. Oh look, she just turned on her camera too, we can see her. And we have Kumkumdiri and
Marie Maharaj.
Yes.
This Marie, and she's en route to Villa Govinda.
No, Sokel.
I'm so sorry. Govinda Mela.
Well, we're having festivals here every day, so you're also very welcome to come here too. But you're on the way to Govinda Mela. Okay, yes, Marie, you're in a different environment. Same face, different place. And there is a book coming to you. You don't know it, but there is a book coming to you. Or maybe it's a secret. Okay, I'll keep it a secret.
I don't know. Vishaka said she was going to send me a book via somebody.
Yes, okay.
So I might know about it.
It is that, yes. Vishaka is going to send you a book. But then I suddenly thought maybe it's a secret, it's a present, a surprise. But she already told you, yeah. All right. And Pavan Krishnapur with Kamala. So maybe that was the same screen, but Pavan Krishnapur with Kamala in Thailand. Gangalila Didi, Jayadev Prabhu, good to have you with us. And your icon of Mahaprabhu, the Mahaprabhu deity worshipped by Vishnu Priya. There, and Muktinath Prabhu with us, and if I'm, save Rupa Didi and Leela Moy David, save Rupa Didi and Leela Moy Prabhu. Last but not least on the screen here, and I see you do have also Facebook running, so those on Facebook, also a big welcome, and those who are seeing the recorded version. Okay, we should better not chat too much, let us start, and we do want to start with auspicious invocation, because we're running gently late, because we've been chatting. Let us first just have one verse. and that one verse being Vandeham. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Ta Ragnatam Vidam Tam Sa Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Okay, one more verse. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratuje Namaha. And one more verse. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Well, we couldn't resist. They're so important, those verses, so we couldn't resist also adding them in. Oh, Jayade Prabhu wearing a genuine, well, maybe not genuine, a bear cap, Jesse, not. Oh, but nice ears flopping about as you shake your head. And today, in the Himalayas, you know that sadhus, they're meant to wear, well, a certain section of sadhu in the time gone past, they had various identifications. That it was tradition. They wore ivory earring. They carried a water pot. They carried a staff, a stick, various things, and they wore a deer skin. This was kind of the identity, the uniform, if you like, of a sadhu. But nowadays, I don't know, but I was told it is illegal to trade in deer skin to try to stop poaching in India. And so in the Himalayas, instead of wearing real deer skin, you see the sadhus wearing like synthetic, made of nylon, like the synthetic printed deer skin. So Jayadev, yes, he's indicating he's wearing the synthetic bear skin or synthetic skin of a bear. I doubt whether there was a synthetic bear to go and shoot and skin. All right, dear devotees, but it is good intention, and also it is not the uniform of the sadhu today, and this was made clear by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now Sevarupa is going to do a quick look on the Veda base so I get the right name. Maybe, anyway, just do a quick check. But it was one of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's seniors. So we just get a quick check from Sevarupa. And he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wearing a deer skin, and then Mahaprabhu looked there and said, no, this is not him. It can't be him. When he was introduced, you have Sevarupa, the name of that person? Bharati. Someone Bharati and deer skin. Anyhow, then that senior devotee, he could understand, oh no, this is disapproved, that I'm coming in front of Mahaprabhu, that I'm wearing a deer skin. This is disapproved. And so he changed into proper cloth, and when he came back, then wearing the proper cloth, then Mahaprabhu said, yes. Not finding. Okay, it's a case of just finding the name of the person. I can find it presently. You must be talking this one. This is surely not Brahmananda Bharati. I knew it is Bharati, that Brahmananda bit I wasn't so sure. Yes, so it's Brahmananda Bharati. And so anyway, this is an illustration. Again, Mahaprabhu is teaching us all through his pastimes. And so not to imitate sadhus, etc. One moment. Yes, Marie, thinking of you for your remedy for stopping a sneeze, but I didn't have time. Hare Krishna. Okay. All right, dear devotees. So Harinam Sankirtan, the very medicine for this age. And when we take medicine, anybody knows you take medicine, the doctor tells you how to take the medicine, or it's written on the bottle somehow or another. You don't just get a bottle of medicine. Oh, this medicine will cure me, and you drink the bottle. Otherwise, you might be in more difficulty. There's a way to take the medicine. And if you would like to know how to take the medicine, which we must know how to take the medicine, then Mahaprabhu has given us the 8 verses of Shikshastakam. Mahaprabhu has given us through Rupa Goswami 11 verses of Upadeshamrita. Srila Guru Maharaj has given us the direct instruction and the direct guidance in answering question and in explaining the Maha Mantra. In many places, but we can think the book Search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful, how to take the medicine of the holy name. And Srila Gurudev, similarly, in many places, is guiding us with how to take the medicine of the holy name. And in particular, we have the chapter at the moment that we're reading, and it's chapter 14, I think, of Revealed Truth. And it's all about the transcendental sound vibration of the Lord, I think perhaps is the title, but entirely Srila Gurudev explaining, giving us the good tips and good advice on how to chant the holy name of the Lord. And Samyak Kirtan, complete Kirtan, is Sankirtan, and that we know it comes in many forms, but for us, one very prominent way of Sankirtan is to chant congregationally in numbers. And yesterday when we were out, we also like briefing before we start. When we're there on the street, we're starting in front of a church. We traditionally, there's a church there, so just nearby that church, we start, and we're saying how we should be trying to chant fully the name while chanting, not only the sound like words of a song, and thereby to avoid namabas. Namabas is indirect chanting, may not be offensive, but not really calling Krishna's name. And then we try to anyhow encourage each other to really chant the holy names of the Lord as we are going through the streets. And but Samyak Kirtan also means that the full chanting, so in numbers, but also from the heart. And when we are trying to chant the names of the Lord, because we accept that what we are chanting, it is full of 10 offenses and full of 4 namabasis, but we can say we want to chant, we try to chant the names of the Lord. So if each of us are trying, then in different percentages, we may be successful, but add those percentages together, you might get 100% if you have a lot of devotees. So anyway, this is our attempt, is to chant the names of the Lord, both in our japa, in our private chanting, in our description about the Lord, talking to others, in our chanting loudly of the names of the Lord when we are with many and in the streets. And an interesting observation that often when devotees come to Krishna consciousness, there is some previous link. Okay, we know about Sukriti and from the past lives, but in this lifetime, I know myself, I had seen devotees chanting on the street. I had a little wonder about that. We have seen heard that, not only seen, but heard that chanting of devotees. And this is something that later on, it sort of comes to us. At the time, we see many things in the world. We see all sorts of things in the world. But this chanting of the name, the Sankirtan on the street, it does stay with people. And the sweet interaction, when there's some interaction between the devotees, and we have nicely smiling devotees who handing out flyers, waving to them, everybody, from a tiny baby who's actually clapping his feet, lying back with his feet, and his feet were like clapping in time, to a tiny baby, to an old person who looked like really, actually looked like a walking corpse, I'm sorry to say, but was so old that, really, but a smile breaking out on the face of that old lady. And really, her skin was tight on her body. She, sorry to say, but just reminds us of, that, death is there, and she was very close. How long more has she to live? But that lady smiling on her body, but so many people with the interaction of the devotees too, then that also must leave an impression on them, somewhere within their consciousness or somewhere within their heart, forever, not even, just when they go home and tell their children, go home, this, that, and the other, but for the long term. Hare Krishna. So Harinam Sankirtan, we have this guidance from Srila Gurudev, from Srila Guru Maharaj, from Sriman Mahaprabhu, from Rupa Goswami. We've got the guidance, and isn't it 400,000 verses in Sanskrit composed by Jiva Goswami to help us along, if that's just in case we feel that we need a bit more guidance. So anyway, there's so much guidance for us, but our practical guidance, which comes to, not wearing a deer skin, not putting ivory, which I think is also now a restricted item. Ivory means people go out, and I'm sorry to say, in my life also, I've seen an elephant that's been captured in a trap by poachers, and why they go to kill a whole elephant? To get the ivory. And so, all these things, they're restricted. But even if they're not restricted, in this age, it is not that you go wearing ivory earrings and dress up with a deer skin, real or fake, even to say, a deer skin, like that. And not we do that. We follow what's been given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as our example for the day. By the way, I turned on the Facebook to link to you, and there's somebody else's Sankirtan, but Sankirtan is there. So I should, as I turned it on, I'll just turn on Facebook while I'm here. Back to basics. Oh, Facebook is on back to basics classes. Let's see if I can see who is there. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Oh, I can see Leela Moy Prabhu. Okay, Govinda, Govinda. It may be a recording. That's what you looked like in the past, maybe last week. All right. Any question from anybody?
Yes, Maharaj. Small question.
Yes, okay. And Kumkum is here, she's listening.
Yeah.
And we always appreciate that she'll make a contribution for us to help us on our journey. So Kumkum, you also listen and see whether this is a question for you, a question for me, or anything else.
Actually, just a small question. I wanted to ask you to share an example when, like Krishna says, I think in preface to Bhagavad Gita, or not Krishna, like Arjuna is like a calf, and like depending on the calf, like the flow of milk is going on. So I just wanted you to share maybe some cases from your life when some people with sincere inquiry come and then something comes through you, something that you didn't maybe even expect, something extraordinary or just sudden, and then here it is, and you just, wow, is it me speaking? Something like this, or just something that you remember on this topic.
Well, prominent on this topic is remembering how Srila Guru Maharaj explained about him being with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And, excuse me, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving a discourse, was giving a lecture, a talk, and he was talking these things and flowing and flowing. And Guru Maharaj felt, Srila Guru Maharaj felt that these are amazing things that are coming from Srila Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Guru Maharaj very often would have a pen and paper. But on that occasion, he did not have any pen or paper with him. And he even asked somebody, like, who was sitting beside him, any pen or paper. And he felt, oh, I have no pen or paper. But to jot down the notes of the substance of the talk. And at the end of that talk, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Saraswati Thakur, asked to Guru Maharaj, oh, I felt new things were coming through me while giving this talk today. Did you take notes? I want to recap. I want to hear the recap of what I told. This was coming through me to the audience. And Srila Guru Maharaj, it was one of those things that had been very strongly in his heart that, oh, very sadly, no, Guru Maharaj, I didn't have, his Guru Maharaj, no, Srila Saraswati Thakur, I didn't have with me pen and paper. And Srila Saraswati Thakur, expressing, oh, what a shame, kind of thing. So this is like the first and prominent example that comes to mind. But things that have come through me, oh dear, probably bad examples and this and that and the other. I think we'll pass this over to Kumkum Devidasi. We can feel that something was a little, sometimes we can say, we can feel that sometimes a talk was a good talk or something, but really nothing is ours. And if it was a clear talk, something which did have some appropriate examples or anything, it's not our capacity that we've done it. And, sometimes we can think it was successful, but also we've got the experience that we felt like quite happy and inspired, something talking to some people. Then afterwards, when they're discussing, then we see, wow, they didn't really, what did you catch from our discussion today? And, what did they catch? Nothing very much. Like, what time is prasadam? Lasted a bit long, didn't it? And I remember going to church when I was young, and they did not have prasadam at the end, unfortunately. But I can remember thinking, sitting through, the classic sermon by the priest. And I can't think of any sermon which was inspiring, but that, that depends on a lot of factors. A big one being, the child, me, sitting in the sermon. But we don't want to have a sermon. We want to have some interaction and communication and not just repetition. And I think that's where also Harinam, Sankirtan, there's a lot of communication with the people, but that's different. It's not like speaking something, but chanting. Yes, Kumkum Devidasi, you've had lots of time to give us many examples from your life where something has been revealed by a good calf.
by a good calf. Dandavat Maharaj, Priyananda Didi. I had a little internet disconnection for a moment, so tell me if I'm not answering if I didn't hear the question correctly. Something about in the mood of as Arjuna being the calf in Gita, it's told, and Krishna is giving the milk, the vani, in that way. And that was very sweet to hear just now, especially because Marie and I were just talking about the St. Petersburg Temple and that incredible ironwork in the fence, not only tilak, but includes a cow with the suckling calf. And so this is not just a beautiful drawing, well, of course not drawing, but outlined in ironwork, but is also reflecting this very important message from the Gita. And I think that it was Srila Gurudev, I can't remember the talk he's referring to, but he told somebody that he wanted to hear the recording of his talk because so many people had told him how wonderful it had been. And I don't remember it. So I want to hear it too. So acknowledging that it wasn't coming from him, it was coming through him. Do you remember?
Yes, we actually touched on that just now, perhaps when your internet was down. Srila Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur giving a talk, and Gurudev didn't have a pen and paper. This one. And so not a recording as we have today.
Okay.
But in your life, this is the question. So we're seeing now how successful is Priyananda as a calf to draw from you something that you can recall from your life.
It's a very wonderful example of how everything is up to Krishna to use us or not use us or whatever, according to his necessity. And I was just speaking with someone the other day from my very distant past, like 50-something years ago, my very first time I found a magazine and called the nearest temple and was asking if I could come there. And I remember someone answering the phone, and the way I said, "Can I come?" He said, "Yes, of course. Can I come for a whole weekend?" "Yes." "How much does it cost?" "It doesn't cost you anything." And I was giddy by then, and I said, "What should I bring?" And then he sounded a little flabbergasted, and he said, "This is your home. Everything you need is here." And so I ran into somebody from that same time, and I asked, whatever happened to him? I never heard if he became initiated or anything. And she had a very sad story to tell about him, actually. But all I can think is that he had no idea of precisely how he aided me, what a huge difference he made with the way he answered it. He was convinced himself. So how could I not be completely convinced that the direction I was feeling somewhat was actually very, very deep? And so that was one way it really started for me. And I never really spoke to him after I was there, and don't know if he knew how very important he was to me. So, in fact, the person who brought that magazine was a friend of my brother, and he had received it in Boston, Massachusetts, and somebody gave it to him. He said, "I didn't have a quarter and somebody gave it to me. I'm not interested in it. I don't know why I brought it here." But when he got to my brother's house, he plopped it down on a table, and I happened to be in a very searching mood, came along and found it on the table and picked it up. And it was Srila Prabhupada's words that started everything for me. And when I asked him, "Tell me about the people who gave this to you," he said, "I don't know. I wasn't interested." And so I also owe him my life, and I don't have any idea what his name is. And so in the same way, we may get utilized. able to ask Srila Gurudev one time about when the soul is sincere, how Krishna will send the representative to that soul. And in my case, I could see it did not matter where I was. I don't know of a single other person in the entire, this was probably 1,000 miles south of Boston. I don't know of a single other person who knew about Srila Prabhupada in that whole area. And that doesn't matter, because the way Krishna works things, he was able to bring it right to my hand. And so in the same way, if we sincerely want to go on Harinam and we want to make it available to everybody, if that's what we truly want, he can use us in that way. He has all sorts of ideas about all the different souls that he could save. And he's very, very happy to put it together and make it happen. And so I've certainly had plenty of times when I had that same feeling that somebody said, what you told me that day was, I said, what? I can't believe those words came from me. I feel them now, so how could I have said them? But if Krishna wants to use us that way, and to be used by Krishna is the greatest happiness for us as well. So I think that happened many times where somebody told me one time that they joined because they heard me answer a question. And I had just joined myself, but the answer that I gave was so poignant to them. It was exactly what they needed to hear. And of course, that always goes on and on. If that's what it is that we're desiring, then it's simple for Krishna to put all the elements together, the 5 elements or the innumerable elements, to make them all just line right up, make the words come out of our mouth. I can't think of anything really specific. I don't think I've been fortunate that many times that I could be used by him, but
Well, lots of times I don't think you'd ever find out.
that's very true. Like the people that helped me so much, they have no idea. So we should simply do, like they say, do the right thing. The right thing, we know what that is try to get people connected however we can, whether we're speaking philosophically or presenting a wonderful argument that could convert a certain person, whatever their current understanding is or misunderstanding, or whether we're simply just following our guru's guidelines and going on Harinam, distributing a book, going online and reading.
And we also don't know what's going to be that like spark in somebody's heart, which ignites this dormant devotional mood.
Yeah.
Because also we've had devotees, they say, oh yes, I became a devotee after hearing this, that, or the other. But what gave them the inspiration may be something which we think, oh, that's not, I'm surprised that it was that small thing that gave you. We won't say it like that, but sometimes it's something which perhaps we take very much for granted. You're not your body. We've heard it. How many times have we heard we're not our body? But sometimes some quite simple stuff like this, just, I'm not my body. I've never heard anyone say this before. Then who am I? Then something just begins from and like an ABC part of a talk or something that the devotees have heard. And really, we've had like this. Similarly, devotees years later said, "Oh, I joined the temple. I became a devotee because something you said." And then what we said doesn't sound very profound, but it doesn't have to be. It's just Krishna knows what is the particular igniting fuel or combination for that person, including ourselves. My goodness.
Yes.
It wasn't high philosophy, well, that brought me. It was very plain, clear, pure presentation of Srila Prabhupada. And how many things we've read which are like the ego trip of the, I mean, we have to give respect to the different sadhus who've written books before, but, you know, it was very much about, you know, they've got this enlightenment, that enlightenment, and done this kundalini and meditation and stuff. But Srila Prabhupada is like giving you, and this means Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, but our day it was Srila Prabhupada's message that caught us. Later, we also find out, where does he get this? Where did it all come from? From Srila Guru Maharaj, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But it was the purity, their purity, and not them saying what they've done, I'm so great, and this, that, and the other. But the purity of the humble mood of devotional service, and wanting to give good for others without any price tag on it. Selling mantras. This is happening right here in Italy. Sell mantras. You can, if you want, you can be liberated for 85 euros. There's somebody selling them.
Good price. Oh, by the way, Maharaj, I think Kumkum Didi mentioned this talk by Srila Gurudev, maybe not Saraswati Thakur. And she asked whether you know it or not.
I believe I think I was mistaken. When Maharaj explained it, it revived my memory.
Okay.
Okay, and if it was a question, is there a talk Guru Maharaj or Gurudev gave? I can't remember them specifically saying, oh, I gave a good talk, can I listen to it? Again, yeah. But sometimes Gurudev did say, oh, I think I spoke well today. I mean, very humbly.
Yeah.
In his speech mood, yeah.
So encouraging for us too. I was also thinking how this idea that we may be utilized by Krishna is it's the most encouraging thing I can think of, why we also want to practice and to try to chant offenselessly as far as possible, to try to always follow all of our guidelines and associate with the devotees and dive into the scriptures and hear constantly and all that. In the same way that if I'm going to make a garland for the deity or for the Vaishnava, I'll look at all the flowers I have, and I'm more likely to take the ones that look like they would make a nice offering. So I can think that way about myself as well. Let me try to be as prepared as possible. Say, Krishna, pick me, pick me.
Yes, and on being like, it's not ours and so on. Just yesterday, I also thought about it. This, I think, Bhagavad Gita shloka, or from where does it come? Like, by the grace of Guru, even like the lame man can cross the Himalayas, and the one who is not eloquent can speak nicely. Like these things also.
The blind man and the lame man.
Oh, all the collection, yes.
Oh yes, okay, yes. Can cross, okay, the mute man, he can, by the grace of the Lord, he can speak wonderful things like this. Yes, got it.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Oh my, I'm going to be a muted man. Appreciate it.
Hare Krishna. Okay, would you like a quote from Srila Gurudev? Yes, okay, I would like a quote from Srila Gurudev. Okay, and there are so many of these. Here's Srila Gurudev speaking. This one verse, ... Okay, here's a question to you all. No cheating, okay? Not going on to the database or this and that. This one verse, fill in the missing ... gives us sufficient knowledge to understand Krishna consciousness. Oh, okay. Who's going to put up a hand and say what verse it is? There may be no wrong answers, but I mean, there may be more than one. I mean, we know there's more than one answer, really, but here we have this one verse is sufficient for us to understand Krishna consciousness.
Maybe something like Om Jnana Timirandasya.
Wow.
Just to try.
Okay, very good. Sevarupadiri, I see a hand.
Also going to try Dandapats, Chanada Pisanichna.
Okay, very good. Jai Prabhu, I saw a hand moving. It was a hand of agreement that, oh yes, this may be. And remember, this is very good. This is Srila Gurudev, Srila Govindamar speaking. And, oh, I see in the chat box. Let's see. Oh, Sevarupa put in the chat box. Okay, this is just rewinding. By the mercy of the Guru, even a dumb man can become the greatest orator, and even a lame man can cross the mountains. As advised by Lord Brahma, one should remember the Shastric injunction. This Shastric injunction, if one desires success in his life. And what's the Shastric injunction, Sevarupa? Okay, now, anyway, that's what rewinding. Muktinatha said, the Sharanagati verse of the Guru Maharaj composed, Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam. Okay, very good. I think we can give full marks for all of these attempts. But okay, so the verse that Srila Gurudev actually was saying, Kaler dosha nide rajan. This verse in Kali Yuga, then it is an ocean of fault, but one great plus sign, one great fortune within that, and that is that by taking the holy name of the Lord, we will get everything, not only liberation, but Arambrajat, we'll get the highest goal. But okay, so this one verse, Kaler dosha nide rajan, gives us sufficient knowledge to understand Krishna consciousness. But, now I could ask you to fill in what is but what, but it is necessary to learn it from a proper guardian. Then we will be worry-free and successful. We may live in the polluted atmosphere of Kali Yuga, but we will always be conscious about that environment of misconception in which we live and try to connect with the Lord through ... His holy name. Yes, correct. So we may live in the polluted atmosphere of Kali Yuga, where we are, but we will always be conscious about that environment of misconception and try to connect with the Lord through his holy name. The material world is mundane, but Krishna consciousness and Krishna's name are Chaitanya, spiritual. Hare Krishna, Govinda Govinda, Gopala Gopala, Kaler dosha nide rajam, asti hyeko mahan gunaha, one great quality. Kirtana eva Krishnasya mukta bandha parang rajet. Ocean of fault. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The Lord, slightly, not exactly just there. The Lord is present in everyone's heart, and by chanting his holy name, that will naturally be revealed to us. When we have a connection with the Lord's transcendental form through his holy name, all inauspiciousness will leave us and everything will be set right. The reactionary environment and influence of Kali Yuga, will leave us we will get a positive connection with the transcendental world, where love and affection, chastity and sincerity, everything beautiful and harmless exist within eternal life and eternal time. There in the realm, there in the eternal realm, where we will live with Krishna, we will have no fear. Our life with Krishna will always be enriched with all beauty, love, and affection. Hare Krishna, Govinda. Our life will be enriched with all good qualities and qualifications. Krishna Kirtan will reveal that Krishna is within our heart. Then Mukta Bandha, we will be liberated into pure and perfect, very, very happy life. We will cross the gravitational field of the mortal world and find an undisturbed, peaceful life in the plane of dedication. And finally, Param Brajet. There, according to our attachment, our transcendental relationship with Krishna, the Akila Rasamrita Murti, the emporium of all rasa, will be revealed to us. This is the simple method of spiritual realization given in Srimad Bhagavatam. It was spread by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Guru Maharaj. Then they gave, quotes, "Be surrendered to Krishna and chant Krishna's name. You will be super benefited in your life. When you chant Krishna's name without offense, then Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes, everything will be revealed to you." That's what they're preaching. And then Srila Guru says, this is our Guru Varga's only preaching to the general people. They simply taught people about Krishna's name and the mood needed to chant Krishna's name properly. Hare Krishna. And anyhow, there is a whole chapter about the mood of chanting Krishna's name and how to chant it properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And a little later on, Nama Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvan Nama Namino. And then Gurudev is not giving official translation, but explaining the Lord and his holy name are non-different. Our connection with them is always a living matter, never a dead matter. And the result of that connection must come to us. By serving Krishna's name, we will get direct service to Krishna, because Krishna and his name are non-different. Krishna's name is like a wish-fulfilling jewel. He can immediately give us anything we desire for his service if we are properly connected with him. Krishna's name, Krishna's fame, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's everything are all transcendental. When we chant even once without offense, when we chant even once without offense, Shri Krishna, then Krishna will reveal himself to us within that sound. He will reveal his transcendental vibration form. Anyway, I better not read you the whole chapter. I'll leave a lot for you to read. It's not a short chapter. Sometimes we have quite short chapters to bring us like a specific point. This chapter is quite a long chapter, bringing us this specific point. the transcendental name of the Lord. Oh, things came up here. Jayadev Prabhu dancing with Hari Bol and Muktinath Jai to hear the answer that Gurudev gave, but not that Bhagavad Bhakti Sarvam is wrong, not that each of your suggestions is wrong. In this case, then Gurudev had selected this verse of Kale Dosha Nidaya Rajan. This is Krishna consciousness. And regarding that, the quote about the dumb man, even a dumb man can speak, etc., by the mercy of the Lord, then Sevarupa has given us a link. Prescribed duties for mankind. These chapter titles, they're so important. They're so like indicative of what is there. Adding in the explanation of the previous share in reference to Prinancha. Oh, this is the background. Oh, Indra. So this is quote. Lord Brahma, so read the purport first. Oh, yes, say Rupa, would you like to read or explain too?
I was just going to put it into reference. So the explanation previously was like a side note or another, by the mercy of Guru. So before that was actually then the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then the purport, and then that was actually just a side, an explanation on the purport as well.
And we were just with two Japanese ladies. I mean, the devotee ladies, you probably last time. Yes, last time we must have been in Budapest. And there's an initiated Japanese lady and a newcomer, but newly came from their preaching in Japan. But they were telling about the traditions of Japan, and they have this very strong adherence to Guru principle in Japan. That the master, when they go to learn something, they're very submissive to the master. And this is like throughout the culture of Japan. And you know, the samurai has become famous, and they have certain monks who can literally stand on one finger, things like this, which I've seen some little, video clips. It looks very, is that really what we want to do? But, that kind of, it looks like it's harming the body. But they get these powers through their faith to their guru. And they feel that they are, by this chastity, they're getting so many things. And the warriors are getting that warrior power. The mystics, or those who are doing like amazing things with their body, where they're doing things which will be impossible for normal people to do, that they get these powers through that faith to their guru. And this Japanese lady, Anandamoy, also her name, and she was saying about this culture of Japan is very much like this, that by the grace of the Guru, we are getting our strength to do whatever it may be. And in this case, if we can have that attitude for our spiritual strength, it's not we're trying to get power, but our spiritual devotional sincerity and everything that comes through devotion, this is all coming by the grace of Guru. Connection, we need to have the connection, we need to be connected. And Srila Prabhupada uses that example, doesn't he? The electric light or the electric anything, it has to be somehow, that wiring all goes back to some big generator somewhere, nuclear power station, or some big power station, or the power of water. Here it's been raining, it's been quite a rainy summer, plus now it's quite hot, so the snow is melting in the Alps. The river, the famous river Adda, where Leonardo da Vinci has his, various inventions manifested from his drawings, many things are manifested there. including the backdrop of the Mona Lisa, by the way. Anyway, the river Adda is quite famous, but it's full of water now, and it's flowing fast. And then a couple of days ago, or 3 days ago, then the devotees went down to the Adda and went downstream, where that current goes down through a gorge, and you see the power of water. And Leonardo da Vinci, he designed some system to harness that water, which today is known as hydroelectricity. But the point is that our little light has to be connected somewhere along the way. Those wires have to have an uninterrupted connection to that hydropower or the nuclear power or the coal power, to the big power. So this way, Srila Prabhupada used that example of the light, that we need to have that connection with the grand power, which is Krishna, which is Balaram, by the way. Balaram is the one who's distributing Krishna. Actually, if we see from Guru Maharaj's vision, who's teaching us, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev showing us, Srimati Radharani is the very best devotee. And it's from her that everything is coming. But simultaneously, Krishna's very first expansion is his best devotee, Balaram, who is Krishna himself, who only is looking for Krishna's interest. And then in our parallels, we've got Radha, Krishna combined as Mahaprabhu. And we have Balaram coming as Nityananda. And so this way, the grand powerhouse is coming to distribute the highest things to everyone. So a very recent connection, big power station. And we must really have our head fully connected, our heart, our head on the ground, fully connected in that power station, that power that's come very recently from the Lord himself in his most powerful distribution mode. Hare Krishna, we all know it. So let us try to do it, this trying to do part. Hare Krishna. And in this chapter, I remember too something about and try to connect. Yes, Gurudev. Oh yes, we just read it. We will try to connect with the Lord through his holy name. Gurudev always saying, and similarly we read, there is no alternative actually to trying to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offense, to happily trying to chant with faith, love, and affection. We are trying to do all of these things. And I know you're all now expecting me to say, and one of my most inspiring favorite shlokas is the shloka from the Skanda Puran, that the attempt to chant the name of Govinda, it is told there. The attempt to do that is more valuable than any pious activity, anything of this world, giving away a sumeru, glorious, grand mountain of gold. Doing this hundreds of times doesn't equal a fraction of the value of the attempt to chant the Lord's holy name. So you think I might refer to that sloka? And you'd be right. There you are. Because it does come to mind. But here, Gurudev's own slokas, his own Veda coming from his mouth. The Lord descends from Goloka Vrindavan, where his divine play is always flowing with all varieties of charming qualities. And he descends from Goloka Vrindavan in the form of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the age of Kali, to connect everyone with his beauty and his ecstasy. There is no alternative actually to trying to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offense, to happily trying to chant with faith, love and affection. Harinam eva kevalam. It is necessary to always, in italics, means Gurudev in speaking, stressing this. It is necessary to always chant the holy name and to not do anything without chanting. Chanting the Lord's holy name is the goal of life, and the soul is supremely benefited by it. Hare Krishna. And this is why we are here, to remind ourselves of this not only basic matter, the basis of our devotional life, basic thing we are told, always chant the name of Krishna. But it's not only the basic, it's everything. So the medicine and how to take the medicine. And we have ocean of super advice from those who are really able to give that advice. And they are transmitting that to us today, not static thing, but they are transmitting that today. Madhvacharya went to Badrik Ashram to learn the Vedas from Veda Vyas. I think it was the 4th century or the 5th century, something like that. Not long ago, but long after, say, the Leela of Veda Vyas and Ganesh writing the scripture. So we can also come and hear very clearly from Gurudev, from Guru Maharaj, from Srila Prabhupada, from our Sampradaya, but in this way, through these scriptures that have come directly from their holy mouths, and their will behind it. So let us come to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, hear from them every day. These are not, oh, we found this amongst so many, oh, this is one thing we found. Every day is the best thing we read. You know that. Every day is the best book. Every day is the best chapter. Every day is the best paragraphs. And it is so. We want to maintain that and not lose that momentum. Oh, Seva Rupa, she's put in, did you put this here before I said it? Or did you already understand? Oh, this section. She just put what I just read, she's just put in the chat box. It's from Revealed Truth. It's not as, actually it is a secret, but it's also not a secret for the devotees. It's a secret. We have to tell this to the faithful, and that's why we're happy to be with the faithful Vaishnavas. Jai, all Shri faithful Vaishnavas ki Jai, and Jai, our masters, our life and soul, our source of everything. Jai, our Shri Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai Om Vishnupad Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. And Jai all the present day Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. The book Revealed Truth ki Jai that we are quoting from today. And Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And this time next week, then some of you will be in the Govinda Mela. Some of our devotees from here, Krishna Kanta Munindra Mohan Prabhu, will be there in the Govinda Mela. I'll be in another Mela, and already this was booked from long ago with tickets and everything. And so I'll be in another Mela in Latvia. So all over the world, then the name, the distribution, the sharing going on. And please try to share in a beautiful way with all the devotees, person in person, as it were, but more person, more in person, most in person, very beautifully in person. Try to share and get their magnetism of their devotional heart. We can become magnetized by that association. Nitai
Shri Bhaktiranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Oh dear. Oh, Leela Moy Prabhu, so late.
Jai.
We let you go to bed. We're going to start our day, but your day is ended. Leela Moy Prabhu, thank you for looking after us, being on the controls, taking care. And to each of you, super gratitude to Kumkum Devi Dasi for sharing, for the questions that come, for everything, for you all being here, and on Facebook. And I didn't name you all on Facebook because for some reason I didn't immediately find the live broadcast, but Jagamohini Devidas has been with us, and Mathura Basini Devidasi, Madhava Prabhu, Tungarasa. These devotees I know are also on Facebook and have been with us throughout. And our appreciation and obeisances to you all there, and to all of you who've made it through to here also. And this is at the end of the recording. If you're here, then we're very happy in your association. Our super respect to each and every one of you. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.